teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And I've always been interested in sports Hall of Fames. I do this series, Is He a Hall of Famer? Took a little bit of a hiatus from it, but take a look at guys who are on the fence as to whether they belong in their sports Hall of Fame. Take a look at their career, whether or not they belong in. Get my final verdict. Like to listen to you guys. Probably will be bringing that back soon. But this was from yesterday. It's not former players, but former MLB managers, ex MLB managers, Leyland, Piniella among 8 on Hall of Fame's contemporary ballots, this via ESPN. Jim Leyland, Lou Piniella, Cito Gaston, and Davey Johnson are among 8 men on the ballot for the Hall of Fame's Contemporary Era Committee for Managers, Executives, and Umpires that meets on December 3rd at the winter meetings in Nashville, Tennessee. In addition to the 4 managers, the ballot includes umpires Joe West and Ed Montague, former National League President Bill White, and former General Manager Hank Peters, the Hall said Thursday. The identities of the 16 voters will be announced closer to the meeting, and 75% of the voters needed for election. Anyone chosen will be inducted into the Hall next July 1st, along with players voted in by the Baseball Writers Association of America, whose ballot in will be announced on January 23rd. So I thought I'd take a look at the 4 managers and, see who maybe has the best case of making it. I will say they are fairly comparable, all 4 of them. I'll start with Jim Leyland. So these are all their baseball reference managerial pages. You see, for his career, he went 1,769 wins, 1,728 losses. Spent 22 years as a manager, half of those coming with the Pirates, but only 2 years with the Marlins. But his one World Series win did come with the Marlins in 1997. He also did reach 2 World Series with the Detroit Tigers and Miguel Cabrera. Unfortunately, they lost both of them, but he did finish 44-40 in his career in the postseason, so an above 500 record. Was a part of some successful Pirates teams, and again was an excellent manager. Towards the end with the Detroit Tigers, won 3 Manager of the Year awards. Lou Piniella, 1,835 and 1,713 record. He was a manager for 23 seasons, won a World Series in 1990 with the Cincinnati Reds. You look at that 2001 season, Seattle Mariners, who set a MLB record with 116 wins that season. Unfortunately, were not able to advance to the World Series that year, but as we often see in baseball, the best regular seasons teams don't always reach the ultimate pinnacle. All in all, 23-27 in his postseason career. Cito Gaston, 894 and 837 record. So by far the shortest managerial career of these 4 guys. But unlike the other 3, and we haven't gone to Davey Johnson yet, he has 2 World Series wins. The other 3 have 1. They came in back-to-back seasons, 1992 and 1993, with the Toronto Blue Jays. Not many managers can say that they won back-to-back World Series. Gaston was able to do so. But again, just 12 years as a manager, all of them coming with the Blue Jays. And after his coaching career ending in 1997, came back for 3 seasons from 2008 to 2010. And then Davey Johnson, who went 1,372 and 1,071 for his career, twice won Manager of the Year, was the World Series champion manager of the 1986 New York Mets. That season, they won 108 games. He also had a season with the Mets where they won 100 games for his postseason career, 25-26, so slightly under 500. So you can really say all 4 of these guys are viable candidates, but I wouldn't say there's any that are clear cut above the rest as the best choice. If you go by most wins, you're going to see Luke Piniella atop that one. If you go by most World Series wins, it's Cito Gaston. If you go by most World Series appearances, you're going to see Jim Leyland. And I believe he had the best. Yes, no, I'm sorry. Cito Gaston had the best win percentage, 529. But Leyland also did have the most postseason wins. And if you go by best winning percentage in the regular season, you got Davey Johnson at 562. Manager of the years, Piniella and Leyland both won 3. Davey Johnson won 2. Cito Gaston didn't win any, but of course he's the one manager who did win multiple World Series. So which of these 4 managers, if any, do you believe belong in Cooperstown? I would say my top choice would go to Jim Leyland. I always saw Jim Leyland as one of the best managers in baseball, whether it was with the Pirates, the Marlins, or later with the Tigers. Most World Series appearances of these 4 guys with his 3 altogether. And helped the Marlins win their World Series in just their 5th year of existence. My second choice, kind of on the fence between Cito Gaston and Davey Johnson. Probably give a ever so slight edge to Gaston for winning the multiple World Series. Davey Johnson very close in third to me. And I hate putting Lou Piniella fourth because, man, was he entertaining. And again, had that awesome season with the Mariners. Did win a World Series with the Reds. But there's no shame in my eyes seeing him as fourth because all 4 of these guys are excellent managers. I don't think it would be egregious if any of these 4 did reach Cooperstown, but in my eyes, Jim Leyland is the best option. But let me know in the comments which of these 4 do you think belong in Cooperstown. They are all advanced in age. Piniella is currently 80, Cito Gaston 79, Davey Johnson 80, and Jim Leyland is 78. So, if they do make it, you kind of hope it is now, just so they are around to, give their speech and see their enshrinement take place. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.